first hopeful visitors are Patricia Dango and her daughter Rokeya, who have brought a repair to honour a trailblazing civil rights activist for the artful mastery of conservator Lucia Scalisi.
Hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
Fine, thank you very much.
Good. So what have we got here? What is this?
This is a painting of my grandparents' house, the house where my mother grew up.
This isn't the UK though, is it?
No,
All
this is in Bermuda.
My father, Edward Trenton, had it built for my mother. Before they were married, she was not allowed to come and look at the building, what was going on. But on the day that they were married, he carried her over the threshold. And they lived in it till they died, really.
That's proper romantic.
What
That's the way to do
stories,
it.
yeah.
And what job was he doing?
When he built the house, he was a teacher. Then he practiced law.
Okay.
He'd always been interested in the difficulties of Bermuda in politics.
Why?
And he was persuaded to run for Parliament, and he did.
And you say the difficulties in Bermuda.
Bermuda at that time was a totally segregated island. Black and white children didn't go to school together. The churches were separate. You were in a different part of the church.
This is the place of worship. People were supposed to come together.
My mother was mixed race and people thought she was white. Took me into a restaurant in a pram.
Right.
And they said, well, you can come in to my mother, but you can't bring this baby in.
Really?
Absolutely right. And your father won't let you go to the films, the movies, because black people had to sit somewhere else in the front, and white children used to throw paper at you. I mean, he wouldn't let me go. I mean, I wasn't allowed to go to the cinema. But he was very interested in trying to get that put right.
So stop the segregation?
Yeah. He was very vocal about the ills of discrimination and injustices.
Yeah.
After he entered politics, he then became the leader of a party, and then he became the first black premier in Bermuda.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
For a segregated country, and then for him to get into politics and then become the head of Bermuda.
Yeah.
Not yet. It's a big deal.
It was a big deal, and it was after that that he was knighted by the Queen.
Wow. Did you ever meet your granddad?
Oh, yes. He was a very larger-than-life character and very charming.
Right.
And you could see the impact that had on everyone he met. And I remember I would go into town with him. He would be hailed left, right and centre by people in the street. And I could then understand how he'd been able to make the changes he'd been able to make, but in persuading people to, you know, change legislation and make things different. Yeah.
And he stayed here his whole life?
Oh, yes.
Well, his whole married life.
Yeah.
Your father must have been very proud of the house to have a portrait painted of it, you know?
Exactly.
To me, the house looks very happy.
It was. As a child, it was magical.
Who's this little fella here?
Oh, that's Spot the dog. He was really part of my childhood, and when Rokeya started to visit from the age of 2, he was still there.
So what would you like Lucia to do to it?
Really stabilise it.
There are lots of bits flaking off and the colours are not as vibrant as they should be.
Spot is gradually disappearing out of the picture.
Yeah.
The whole family would be so pleased to have it preserved. It's a picture of a house, but it's also the memories of my grandparents, and it would be something that we could then ensure the future generations are able to see what it was like and have the stories told about my grandparents.
I think it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry, it's made me actually feel quite emotional reading all that.
And so you should. I mean, it's your history, isn't it?
It is my own individual history.
Thank you both
Thank
for coming
you.
and bringing this in. Okay?
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Fantastic. How great is that? See, every picture tells a story.
Tell me about it.
Just
It does.
amazing, eh? Amazing. This is lovely. Really nice to get up close and personal with this lovely little painting. It's quite floppy, the canvas. It needs tensioning. It's got a few dents in it. I can get rid of those. But really, primarily, I have to make sure that this flaking paint isn't going to get worse. So I'm going to secure that, and then I'll be able to do the cleaning. So I'm going to apply the adhesive over the areas of flaking. You want the adhesive to flow under the lifting paint. So I'm going to use my acid-free tissue, and then I'll just be drying it with this heated spatula. It's a challenge because it's quite sensitive paint surface, but it's going to look really good at the end.
From sunny Bermuda to Arctic adventures, former nurse Pat Emmel and her son Nick have brought Steve Fletcher an intriguing souvenir of a life less ordinary.
Hello. Come on in.
Hello.
How are you?
We're fine.
We're good, thank you. Dying to see what's in that box.
We've got a thermometer in here, but it's not a normal thermometer. It's designed for cold temperatures. And this is the sensor that measures the temperature. It's a thermocouple thermometer. It produces electricity in the sensor.
So there's no mercury in it at all?
No, mercury is unstable in the cold temperatures it was designed to record.
Oh.
So it's minus 100 degrees Fahrenheit, and it runs through to plus 100 degrees Fahrenheit.
Minus 100 Fahrenheit in Celsius. What's that?
Around minus 70.
Minus 70?
Minus 70. So that's the coldest temperatures recorded in the world, which is down in Antarctica.
So how come you've got a thermometer that does all this extreme temperature?
In the 1960s, my husband Malcolm and I went to live in the Arctic, and it was given to Malcolm by some scientific friends who also lived in the Arctic.
That's amazing. What took you out there?
I had been living in Nigeria. I was working in a leper colony. I was the sister of a leper colony. And I was home on leave with every intention of going back to Nigeria.
Right.
And the local vicar sent the local curate to visit me. I opened the door and I thought I hadn't intended getting married. I was really a career girl. But a voice said to me, "You're going to marry this man." And at the same time, something said to Malcolm, "You're going to marry this woman."
First time you saw him?
Malcolm had already decided that after he finished his curacy, he would like to have a parish elsewhere in the world, and so he decided he'd go and work with the Inuit people in Canada. And he had already arranged to go, so I had no alternative. If I wanted to be with Malcolm, I had to go to the Arctic.
You're going to the Arctic, that's it.
You know, you do daft things when you're in love, don't you? And it all worked out, and we had 59 very happy years together. As I said to him, really, right till he died last year, "You never really proposed to me. All you said was, 'Will you come to the Arctic with me?'" I had 2 babies while I was in the Arctic. The first year was extremely hard. You had to adapt to a different way of living. We didn't have any fresh food, so we ordered our food in January, and it came up by boat in August. So we lived on tinned food. Oh. I can do things with tinned food that nobody else can do. It isn't just the cold, it's the isolation. Our nearest neighbours were like 200 miles to the west, another 200 miles to the east.
Wow.
And we had a nursing station. So my job was to do a lot of flying. So I used to fly out to smaller settlements if there was patients to pick up. But the parish was enormous, bigger than England. Whoa. He would travel every year by dog team with the Inuit people to visit the outlying settlements. There would be babies to be baptised. There'd even probably be a wedding to do.
So how did this thermometer feature in your lives?
Well, Malcolm absolutely loved it, of course. He used it in the Arctic. Every morning he'd have a look and say, "Oh, it's minus 40 today. Better put an extra layer of clothes on if you're going out." And then he brought it back to England, and he still used to like it, didn't he, very much?
Right from my childhood, it was mounted in the garage.
I think anything connected with Malcolm becomes more important when you lose them. And I do miss him tremendously.
There's so much of Malcolm wrapped up in this, isn't there?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. In that act of looking at it, you have that time of just thinking about my dad as well.
Yeah.
And do you know what's wrong with it?
No, I don't know what's wrong with it. It recorded this temperature on a very hot day, and then it's stuck. It hasn't moved since that very hot day.
What about cosmetics?
This is the patina of its life. It can stay much as it is. My dad made the box. The box is packing case wood from the Arctic. Everything that came to the Arctic was used. So the box is important.
I cannot wait to get inside to see how it works. I have no idea at the moment, so it's quite exciting.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Lovely to meet you both. See you later.
Thank you, and thank
Okay,
you
bye.
very much.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye. Amazing life, isn't it?
Wow. Right, I better get cracking. This is just a wonderful scientific piece of equipment. I'm not sure how this works at all. I know how a thermocouple works. It's a safety thing in a boiler or on a cooker or an appliance like that. But I'm intrigued to see how this works. Right, let's have a look. It's really a very delicate mechanism inside here. And at this stage, I don't know whether the fault is in the thermocouple itself or in the actual mechanism. I'm really quite nervous about going any further, and I've got to really scratch my head about how to get into the mechanism, because it's so fine. I don't want to cause any damage, so I've got to be very, very careful.
With the flaking paint and the Bermudian picture stabilized, Lucia can set about flattening the undulating canvas.
I'm going to turn it over and work on these bumps, these dents that are in it. This one's quite pronounced, so I'll do that one first. I'm going to do a moisture treatment. It's very gentle, and it's just using blotting paper. Wet the blot, shake off the excess. And I'm going to use my heated spatula to drive the moisture into the canvas, but in a very controlled way, so it's not flowing, it's just getting the canvas damp. It allows the fibres to release. It's a bit like ironing, but very gentle, and I can actually feel the canvas give. Take dry blotting paper, take a piece of card, and leave it weighted to dry under its own, literally, little bit of steam that's going on under there. So I'm going to carry on working on the dents that I can find. We've got a lot of slack in the canvas, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to tension the canvas by just tapping in these wedges. Once all the structural stuff is in place and it's well supported, I can turn it over and work on the front of the painting. And that's when all the picturesque things start. These wedges open this joint in the stretcher, and it's called a stretcher because it stretches the canvas. I can see the canvas starting to actually tension now. It's going. It's not as floppy as it was. The cleaning is actually more straightforward than I thought. It's an aqueous cleaning method, but I need a little bit more than water, a little bit more oomph to do a surface clean. Otherwise, I'm just rubbing the surface. So basically, it's distilled water with a tiny bit of ammonia, And the beauty of that is there are no surfactants in here or anything. The ammonia evaporates. I'm pleased with the way that it's cleaning very, very nicely. The fact that we've got this little tiny portrait of Spot the dog, obviously a family favourite, so it's really quite important. Spot has lost like his central tummy area, but by the time I've retouched it, Spot will be fully formed, so that will be a nice little thing. It's lovely working on something like this because it's such a personal thing for them. It's just full of love, really. Love and memories and sweetness. And for me, it makes me think, maybe I should have a painting made of my house.
Bringing some class with glass, Matt Nichols is back in the barn.
Excited to see what's coming through the door.
Sure. I think you're going to like this one.
Becky Forrest from West Sussex has brought something she hopes Matt can get from flat to fabulous.
Hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good, thank you.
That's definitely broken.
Wow. That's really squashed. Sat on by an elephant, isn't it?
So what have we got in the box then?
We have a terrarium.
A terrarium?
Yes, so a bit like an indoor greenhouse for plants.
Yeah. So what is this meant to look like?
So it's a beautiful glass structure with curved tops, lots of individual pieces of glass, a nice slidey door so you can go in and tend to your plants. Yeah, it was very beautiful.
How tall was it originally?
Roughly about here. So it's really...
Okay.
Really
it's really
crushed.
been flattened,
Yes.
Yeah. So how come you've got this? Where did you get it from?
So it belonged to my grandparents, who are no longer with us.
Right.
They'd been married for, I think, 68 years.
Wow.
They moved to Spain in '99, where they absolutely loved being.
Yeah.
They spent a lot of time tending to their plants in here and also their plants in their garden. And it was decided that I should have the terrarium as I share the love of plants with them.
Right.
My nan was amazing. She could literally take a leaf and the next time you saw it, it was the most beautiful plant you've ever seen.
And was you close with your grandparents?
Very close, yes.
Yeah?
Every probably 6 weeks or so I'd fly to Spain just for the weekend to see them.
So what are your early memories with the terrarium?
It was in the middle of my grandparents' house, so whichever room you were in, you could see the terrarium, which is lovely.
So how did it end up looking like this?
When they passed, I had it couriered back to the UK, and this is how it arrived.
Really?
Ooh.
Yes.
So how did you feel when you got that?
Absolutely heartbroken.
Yeah.
It was the final piece of them that I thought I could have in my house, a bit of them with me every day.
Yeah.
And, yeah, that's not the case.
So I can see that a fair amount of the glass is broken, but we've got lots of glass in here.
Yes, some glass that I have been able to save.
OK, well, that's good. Seems like a fair amount is still there.
It would be so nice to see it in my own home and have the memories of my grandparents and just remembering it in their house and then bringing that into my house would be really special.
OK. Seems like you've got a job to be doing then.
Yeah, a lot of work on my hands.
Thank you for bringing this in.
Thank you so much.
You take care now.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
The first terrarium was developed in 1842 by botanist Nathaniel Bagshaw Ward and was initially known as the Wardian case. They made global plant transport possible, shipping plants, trees and spices around the world. But Becky's terrarium has not fared so well with international travel.
I feel really nervous about this repair. It's such an important job for me to get right. There's so much history and family embodied in this piece. And now that I'm looking at it and seeing just how mangled it is, this is quite genuinely one of the worst disasters I've ever seen. I've got these two finials here, and the base to those I'll definitely be able to keep. But I'm not sure if I'm really going to be able to keep much else of the lead. All the lead is mangled, and once it gets mangled, you can't really stretch it out again. You can't put it back together, unfortunately. But first of all, I need to start taking it apart and make some good templates, and also start working out which bits of glass there are that I can keep, which bits are broken.
In an effort to decode the Arctic thermometer's intricate workings, Steve has traded time and hours for temperature and degrees.
So I can see the way this actually is supposed to work. You've got the thermocouple, which creates a charge, and at the end, the thermocouple is attached to a board-on spring. You'll see those in barometers, and you'll get the air pressure that will change the pressure in that coil. That coil will then try and unwrap, and that turning effect will actually turn a hand on a barometer. In here, you've got the board-on spring that's connected to some levers that does turn the hand. So it looks as if the board-on spring has closed down and just has hit a stop, and that's where that hand has stopped. There's an adjustment screw here. If I just undo that, move the lever around. If the hand was attached, the hand would be coming up to almost the centre here. So I'm going to tighten that up. And now, when I move this, there is adjustment both ways that hopefully, if I heat the thermocouple, the hand should move. So the next stage, I need to get hold of an electronic thermometer, put it side by side with the thermocouple, see whether this one is reading correctly or not. I can't wait to do that scientific experiment. It's all good fun.
As Steve prepares to test the thermometer, Lucia is keeping a cool head as she precisely colour matches the infills on the Bermudian painting.
It's coming up really quite nicely. I'm using my synthetic resins and mixing dry pigments in with them to get the shade that I want. A lot of them are teeny tiny, just scraped off losses, so I'm dotting those in. And then these larger ones, I shall do some small brush strokes. I'm just letting it flood into that loss, and it's working quite nicely. I'm saving the best bit till last, though, Spot the dog, who was more or less in the centre of the painting and the focus, I guess. It's a really nice emotional touch to put the dog in, because I know how much that dog meant to the family. I mean, it's a beautiful portrait of a house, and it's a lovely thing to have. I love it.
This painting was commissioned by Bermuda's first black premier, Sir Edward Trenton, who campaigned against segregation and became a national hero in the process. For his daughter Patricia and granddaughter Rokeya, it holds dear memories of the man and the place they called home.
Hello, hello again, hello. How lovely to see you.
And you.
How are you keeping?
Fine, thank you very much.
Oh, good. Are you excited to find out what happened to your...
We are really excited.
Yeah.
It did well up a lot of lovely memories for me. Things we talked about that we hadn't talked about for years.
So all those memories just laying dormant until this moment in time.
That's right.
So you ready to see it?
Yes, I think so.
Yes,
Very
we are.
excited.
We are.
Great, because I am too.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, it's just lovely.
It's amazing. It's absolutely
amazing what you've done.
And I don't know how you've managed to bring out all the colours. I don't
Yes.
remember the grass being that green,
Oh,
or
it
the
was.
sky being
Yeah.
that vivid.
Yes.
Oh, look at Spot, look at Spot. Look, he's got his head back.
Yes. And that part of the flower garden,
Yeah, that was sort of lost.
yes, that was completely lost.
Oh, it's
Well,
wonderful.
It is lovely.
Oh, it's really wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's all just so clear.
Isn't it? Mummy, she loved to
Sit on the terrace.
sit on feet up. Yes.
You can almost see her walking down there.
We can.
Yeah.
And of course she walked down there as a bride. She had us and her life with this house, their husband, who she loved dearly.
Grandpa would be very proud.
Yes, yes.
And he would have loved the fact that something that he thought was important to capture on canvas is preserved.
It represents joy and happiness, that house. Yeah. A part of me that still yearns for Bermuda, really. That's the emotion that I have when I see this house. Yeah, in its glory. Yes, in its glory.
Well, if you're happy with it, please take it away.
Thank you. Thanks. Little worried.
Oh, that's wonderful. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Great to see you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
It's just so lovely. Yeah. I will look at it every day and will be reminded how lucky I was to live in that house. The time of quite severe segregation, that house was a solace for us. Everything that my parents taught me about life was in that house. It was such a house full of joy.
And love.
Yes, love and joy, yes.
Things are hotting up on Steve's bench as he prepares to test his handiwork on the Arctic thermometer.
I've managed to get hold of an electronic thermometer, and it's showing at the moment that the room temperature is 67 degrees Fahrenheit. So what I've done is set the hand at that room temperature. So I'm going to put the thermocouple and the probe into the oven. What I'm really hoping to see is this hand moving up now. If it doesn't move, then there is something else wrong with this that I haven't spotted. The new thermometer has reacted really quick. The old Arctic thermometer here is turning very, very slowly, but I can see it's reacting now, which is brilliant news. I need to just test it for the cold now. I'm going to pop the thermocouple right down into my bucket of ice, and I'm expecting that needle to fall like a stone. I hope it will anyway. And there it goes. It's amazing. I'm just going to cross-reference the temperature with the modern thermometer. There we go, that temperature is again falling like a stone. 32, which is freezing point. And then it just goes down to low. This, I have to say, is a much better thermometer. Love it to bits. I just need to get it all cleaned up now. I'm so chuffed.
Faced with the challenge of making a brand new leaded structure for the terrarium, as well as replacing some missing glass panels, Matt has got his work cut out.
Fortunately, most of it is actually intact, but there are a few pieces which I need to replicate. Cutting straight lines is quite straightforward, whereas when you're cutting shapes, like this section here in the top, it just gets a little bit more complicated, and that's when a little bit more skill is involved. I follow the curve on this, keeping a nice even, fluid motion as I do it. There we go. Now I need to tap the underside, which breaks the glass a little bit. And once you've tapped it all the way through, you hear a very slightly different sound. There we go. Just heard the pitch change a little bit, and I know now, in the next couple of taps, be able to just knock that bit of glass off. There we go, it's just fallen off. I'm very fortunate to have grown up with working with stained glass. My dad and mum ran a stained glass company when I was growing up, and it's one of those things that you kind of learn without really realising that you're learning. You just end up picking it up. I'm starting to get the structure for this top section of the terrarium together now. So normally, the stained glass would slot in like this, whereas this 3D structure, I'm having to turn the lead this way, but it's going to be so much more fragile to touch just because the glass can just fall out like that. Right, hopefully I'm able to bend this bit of lead nicely. Right, so that feels like the angle's okay. I'm just going to see how this sits there. There we go. That looks really nice. There's just going to be a lot of trial and error with this. Now what I need to do is start putting the vertical lead struts in. So that's slotting down. That's going nicely in. I'm getting the hang of putting all of the glass in nicely. I'm really happy with the way it's going.
How's it going, Matt?
It's all coming together nicely.
Looking really good.
Yeah, although it's a bit of a house of cards at the moment, you know.
So it's all balancing there?
Yeah,
wow.
Pretty much so, yeah.
Wow.
So I've got these finials that are going to go on the top of the terrarium, but they've got a bit of a bend to them.
So they look like they're brass.
Yeah, I was worried that I might snap it if I just get some pliers on it.
Yeah, you would. It really is bent, isn't it?
Would that be something you'd be able to look at for me?
OK, I'll give it a go for you.
All right, thanks, Brenton. I'm about to start soldering all of these joints together, and what that's going to do is it's going to strengthen the entire window by making all of the lead network connected. One of the main issues, though, with making a 3D structure is that solder, when it's hot enough to form a joint, it's a liquid. So I'm really trying not to drip this solder over the rest of the lead. There we go. I've got that one. Nice. This is really the most fiddly soldering I've ever had to do. I'm having to hold the iron, having to put the solder on it, have my glove, have this wood. So many different factors involved. This terrarium is going really well, but this is the first time I've put this top section on, so I'm just going to have to see how it goes. Once it slots in one side, then it's probably going to need to be then slotted into the other, kind of the glass teased around a bit. Now, I think this side, there's something that just needs to fall on this side a little bit. I think there's a bit of glass in the way, maybe that bit there. There we go. Great. Now, you know what? This is the first time that this has actually felt like a proper structure. What I need to do now is start working on this top section with the decorative finials on top, and it's going to really finish it off nicely. I'm so excited.
Sheltered from the inclement weather outside, Steve's meteorological masterpiece is almost ready.
I'm just popping a little bit of oil onto all of the moving parts of the mechanism. The oil's just going to help it move smoothly. It's very, very rare that I will repair anything. I don't know how it actually works properly. It's all too scientific with electrons whizzing around here, there and everywhere. But I've got it working, and that's the main thing. I just need to pop the front on.
Having seen a young family through sub-zero temperatures in the Arctic, it was a hot day in the UK that caused the vintage thermometer's seizure. But keen for it to keep its place in the household and provide a reminder of their intrepid husband and father, Pat and Nick.
Hi. Hi, Pat, you OK?
Yes, I'm fine.
Coming out the rain, goodness me.
Cold out there.
Oh, it is cold, yes.
Yes.
How do you know it's cold out there? You haven't got a thermometer to tell you.
Don't know. I'm afraid I've been of little faith and didn't think you could mend it.
Well, you thought it would just be a lost cause, it would never work again?
I thought it was obsolete.
Oh. That would have been a shame, wouldn't it?
I was more confident, I have to say.
Do you want to have a look?
Oh, I do. I really do.
OK.
Wow.
There it is. Is it really 57 degrees in here?
It is.
It is.
And it says
Fantastic.
57 degrees.
Yeah. We could get it to go warmer, couldn't we?
Well, Nick, I tell you what, we can do a little bit better than that.
You can?
Make it go the other way. We've got a little bit of a surprise for you.
Right.
You ready?
OK.
Come on, Steve.
OK.
What is coming? This is quite exciting.
It is.
This is. Oh,
Very
got some dry ice or
exciting.
something.
Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some of this dry ice into some water in this container here.
Wow, look at that.
This is super cold, the dry ice, so hopefully
Yes.
this should get this back round to at least 0. Look at that!
Wow, look at that.
Right.
Here we go.
Yes.
Wow.
Oh, it's working.
Which is going back.
Oh, it's going really mad. Look at that.
Are we down to 0 yet?
Yeah, no, not quite.
Quite exciting.
Do you remember whatever used to get down to at the Arctic?
Minus 40, but then when we had the blizzard, it was even lower.
Wow.
So, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
0.
Excellent.
Oh, Steve, it's really working.
It's been a long time since it's been that far to 0.
It's been a very long time since it's been down there.
It's made me think about the first few years of our married life in the Arctic. You know, because this was part of the story. I wish Malcolm was here to see it. He'd have loved it. he would. He'd be over the moon.
Well, it's yours to take away.
Well, thank you very much.
Right, I'll carry it out for you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much. It's
so
lovely
much.
to
See you again.
Been lovely to see you.
See you later.
Bye-bye. I was just absolutely amazed when I saw that dial moving. It was a lovely feeling. I thought, my goodness, this is so old, and here we have it working.
It will be part and parcel of my life, my children's lives. It'll be there to be seen.
I'm getting to the final stages of this terrarium. I'm just polishing these copper pieces here with some very fine wire wool. I really want to bring this back to how it looked when Rebecca would visit her grandparents. Really bright, really eye-catching. Wow, this is looking absolutely fantastic. Now, these are the finials that Brenton has really kindly straightened for me, and he's polished them up absolutely beautifully. These finish it off so well. They're a bit like candles on top of a cake.
Due to some careless couriers, the terrarium that once held stunning displays of horticulture in miniature had been crushed into an unrecognisable mess.
That is perfect.
So happy with
Well
this.
done. Compared to what it was before.
I mean, it was flat, wasn't it? It was...
For Becky, it holds dear memories of her late grandparents, who kept it in the heart of their home.
How you doing?
Hello, good,
You all
thank
right?
you. How are you?
Very
Oh,
good.
yeah.
How you feeling?
Excited?
Well, you can tell from the
Definitely a
structure.
better shape.
Shape. Have you been thinking about your grandparents?
Yes, a lot, always. But just to have a piece of them back with me would be amazing.
I think you're ready to see it, aren't you?
I think so. I've never seen it so shiny. So beautiful. I can't thank you enough. It's amazing. Thank you. Just brings a lot of memories back.
Yeah.
Going to their house in Spain.
Yeah.
There'd probably be my nan pottering around in the background in the kitchen. My granddad telling me some story or what he's been up to.
Yeah.
Yeah, just lovely to have a piece of their home at my home.
So this is the way you remember it then?
100%, yes.
Yeah.
Just, as I say, a lot shinier than it was.
Okay.
Just can't believe what a difference. Amazing. I honestly never thought it was going to be a standing structure ever again. Thank you so much.
Rebecca, thank you for bringing this in. And now I think it's time to get it home safely.
Yes, please.
I'll get the door.
Thank you.
Don't worry, Rebecca, he's got it.
Yeah.
He's got it. Come on.
It feels absolutely unbelievable to have the terrarium back in one piece. I think my grandparents would be very proud that I'm now taking on the terrarium in my home. Just having the memories coming back would be really lovely and make it feel like they're part of that too.